Hello there, Amanda here. Today I'll be preparing and organizing a science unit from The Good and the Beautiful called Water in Our World. I will be printing, cutting, laminating, binding, and organizing this entire unit using a method that I didn't use last time, so hopefully this is going to be the way that I do it from now on. So it's just going to be me sitting at my desk, just getting all this prepared. There's going to be a lot of background noise, printer, laminator, and stuff, so I think I'm just going to speed up this video and put some music on it. So here we go. So the first thing that I did actually was print a copy of the cover onto some cardstock, so that when I bind all this together, it has a nice sturdy front. And then I just got a piece of dark blue cardstock to match, and that'll go at the back. And I also have these like plastic covers that are pre-punched for my comb binder. So I will put one of these at the front and back as well. I have laminating sheets for laminating like anything that I would want to turn into a flashcard, any vocabulary words. And I have this little baggie to put those things in, anything that I cut out. I actually really love the full-size envelopes with the zipper on them, and you can get them from any like office store probably, but I actually find mine at Dollar Tree and they're $1. Sometimes you can get even like a set of 2 where it's like a full size and then a smaller size for $1. I put everything from our past unit, which was arthropods, into this, plus anything that I printed out myself that wasn't included in the set but I used with it. And then next time I go to do arthropods, I have the whole set here. The way that I bound arthropods was pretty much the entire unit is bound, except what I did was I did the same thing with the cover. I created a copy on cardstock just so it'd be nice and sturdy. But then I did this. I created copies of everything that I knew I wanted to cut out or take out of the book. Anytime it was like a sheet that my daughter needed to fill out, or the books that needed to be cut out, or the games that needed to be played, I created a black and white copy just to save on colored ink, and just put the copy in my bound version. I'm going with a similar idea I want to still bind the entire thing all in one, but I'm going to go ahead and bind everything as is. That out of the way. I'm going to bind everything in this as is in its entirety. And then I'm going to print off all of the pages once more that I want to cut out or put in the other bag. So things like the vocabulary words, I will go ahead and bind this right in this copy. And then anything that I print out extra will be what we end up using. That way the good, beautiful printed version is right here and nothing gets cut apart or lost or anything, and I always have this to go back to. And I like having everything in like the guide and the teacher's guide book, because then when I need it again, if I need to make another copy if we go over this again in the future, if we do the same unit, then it's all right here and I know the order that they were originally in and everything. So this is one of the mini books that you're supposed to cut out, and I will just leave it right here. And that way I can also read this from here, and my daughter can have her own copy in mini book form. So that's my plan. The table's gonna shake. So that's my plan this time, is to just do this exactly as it is, with a cover and then the back piece. And then I do plan to laminate all of the vocabulary cards, and anytime there's some sort of activity that's expected to be done repeatedly, if it's just something that I can get away with not laminating because little hands are not going to have to use it over and over again and move it around, then I won't worry about it. But for the most part, anything that gets cut out of this will be laminated, except for the mini books, which I have also bound in the past. So I like that. I think I might do that again. And I bound all of them together. So every mini book that came with the unit was put in one book together. And I liked how that worked. So I think I'll do that again. So I'm just going to start punching holes in this and putting it together. And then I will start printing things out. I'll go through it and decide, okay, well, this page is going to get used again. I need to print this again. I need to make copies of this. And I only have one child, so I don't have to make multiple copies of anything, just the one extra copy for her. Personally, I would rather have a spiral binding machine, but they are costly, and I wasn't sure, just when I purchased this, when I was in the market for it, I wasn't sure just how much I would actually use it, or if I would like it, or if I would, decide, oh gosh, I don't really need to bind that many things. But seeing how many things I do bind at this point, I will be upgrading to a spiral binder at some point. I do like the comb binding because it's sort of easy to open and close. People say they like the Pro Click for that reason, because it's easy to open and close and add more to your document. But honestly, in order to open this again, all I have to do is put it back on the machine like I just did, pull off the pages at the back that I need to, put whatever I need in, put the pages back on top, close it up. It's not that difficult, and I have had to do that in the past, so I'm prepared to do that. And also, when I have something spiral bound, which I don't have any examples right now in here, but when I have something spiral bound, it doesn't have this thick wall. So this is so sturdy, and it gives more of like a spinal support to my books. Whereas if I have something spiral bound, this support isn't there, and it's really floppy and flimsy. And if I put it up like this on its side, it will bend over. Whereas this, I mean, that it's nice and straight because it's got this extra support. That does mean, however, that if I wanted to open my book, it'll lay flat fine, but turning it over doesn't really work so well. And I like to turn my books completely over and just hold it one page at a time. So that's the downside of having the comb binding. If that were not the case, if I could open my book completely backwards comfortably, this would be perfect. I mean, I got it for like $30 on eBay. I got the Swing Line GBC So here I have everything bound, and it is in its entirety, like I said. So I have all the beginning pages, all of the vocabulary words are bound in here. I have all the lessons in here, all of the paper that like I would need my student to be writing on is in here. All of the mini books are in here. So this is basically going to be like my version of a teacher's guide. They don't come with separate teacher's guide and student workbooks. So this is kind of my way of making it a teacher's guide with a student workbook. I'm going to print out some more things that are going to go in her care, I guess. I don't think I'm going to bind anything for her because she has to cut things out anyways, so I'll just put it in a folder. This is only one way to do this. I know some people use binders, and I love the idea of using a binder and putting like sheet protectors and putting 2 pages per sheet protector and keeping it nice and not punching any holes in it. But I don't like binders for the same reason. I can't like flip it open and turn it around. I find them really difficult to write in. So for me, I would much rather have something bound because it's smaller. I have one of these book magazine holder things, and a binder will not fit in this. But if I bind something myself, it will fit in there perfectly. So that's another reason why I like to have things bound, is they're just smaller, they take up less space, and they work better in the space that I do have. So now that this is bound, I'm going to go through and find every time I need an extra sheet. So I know I need extra vocabulary word sheets. I know every time I see a sheet where there's like writing involved, which I saw over here, so let's go back to that. Every time I see a sheet like this where there's writing involved or answering questions or filling something out, I'll have to make copies of those. Every time there's a mini book, I'll have to make a copy of that. We are actually not going to start this right away. It's just, I'm just getting it prepared just in case, because I've had it sitting for a little while, because I bought this when it was on sale on their website. They are redoing the entire unit, so they've had it on sale for really cheap, and I got it then. So I've created 3 piles, one for things that need cut out and laminated, or just cut out and prepared ahead of time. I don't know that everything will need to be laminated, but it might be a good idea to do so just because it's, you know, printed on standard copy paper, and I want it to last. And probably we will probably do this again in the future. The next section I have is just stuff that needs filling out, or if something needs to be cut out and pasted onto the page. This is just like activity pages that my daughter will do herself. And then the last pile is all of the mini books. So I have, there's 4, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 mini books that I will just cut out and bind together. Okay, I finished up for the most part. It's actually before class today, and I want to just be done with the rest of this so that I can get on with class. So there's still some things I need to cut out and laminate, but most of it's done. So I'll show you what I got finished today. I finished binding the book and it is ready to go. Lesson by lesson, I will take things out and they will already be prepared. It looks like this particular unit has a lot of experiments with it, so I will need to still look ahead to make sure I have all the materials for the experiments, but at least I'll have everything cut out and ready to go. I have all of the papers, all the like worksheets my daughter will be doing throughout the unit. I'm just going to put that in a folder. For now. Once I get one of those zippered envelope things, all of this stuff will go into that. I think they're great. They have a lot of space in them, and then I can just pair that with the unit guide, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It's really convenient to have, and I can put everything back in there when we're done with the unit, so that in the future when we need to revisit that unit, it's already there. I have all the cards, all of the vocabulary words and flashcards and things that we will need to use throughout the unit. And I'm just going to put all of these into this zip bag here. Again, for now, once I get the bigger envelope, all of this stuff will go in there. So I have the guide, folder, and the zippered bag. For now, it's like a pencil case that I got from Dollar Tree, and it has holes in it to put into a binder, but like I said earlier, I don't like binders very much. These are still really cool, and I really like having these little bags. And what I might do is put like all of the vocabulary words in this bag, and then put this whole bag into the zippered envelope, and then all the other stuff will just be free floating. That way I can tell exactly where the vocabulary words are more readily. What I did last time was I just put everything in order, and I knew to just pull something out from the front, and that's what I needed for then, and then at the end when I was done with that lesson, I'd put it in the back. So it's all kind of in order again, except for the things that, like some of the flashcards we just kept out throughout the entire unit, the like bug flashcards, and we had some things that I printed out for free that I kept in our cart so she could view them whenever she wanted. Those just kind of got thrown at the end. So that is it for this unit. I have another unit from them. They were selling their energy and water in our world units for like $5 each because they were just trying to get rid of them. So I do have the energy unit as well, but it's bigger. It has more pages, so I decided to do this one first. I might also pull that one out and do a video on that one, and I might do it differently because I don't have spines big enough to fit that many pages, because I ended up using my biggest spine for this one. So either I'd have to buy bigger spines or do something different. So I might come up with another technique for organizing this whole unit and use that on the next one. So if I do have a new plan for that, I will make another video for that as well. But that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching.